After much offseason speculation, the Minnesota Vikings and the four-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook have parted ways. Many had seen the signs leading up to Cook's release, the signing of Alexander Mattison to a 2-year deal worth $7 million that could turn into $8 million with $6.35 million in guarantees. That was the first sign. We know that the Vikings have been looking at ways to clear some cap all offseason, and Cook was set to earn $14.1 million in 2023. By releasing Cook post June 1st, this move saves the Vikings $9 million in cap space while taking on just a $5.1 million hit in dead cap in 2023. Now, Cook just happened to be the latest of the Vikings to be let go during this offseason. Eric Kendricks, he signed with the Los Angeles Chargers. Adam Thielen, he signed with the Carolina Panthers, while Zadarius Smith, he was dealt to the Cleveland Browns. Even Danielle Hunter there, his name has appeared in rumor mills there all offseason as well. With Cook now out of the picture in Minnesota, Alexander Mattison could be in line for a heavy workload. In 2023, in 3 games in which Mattison started, in which Cook was unable to play, Mattison received 32, 32, and 25 touches. Now, don't confuse Mattison for Cook, especially when it comes to fantasy purposes. Yes, he will be fine in doing what the Vikings need to get done, but his ADP is going to climb based on opportunity for volume. A deeper look at the numbers shows that only 12% of Madison's runs went for more than 10 yards last season, while 16% of his runs were considered stuffed. And he was only averaging 0.7 yards before contact behind this Minnesota Vikings offensive line. I do expect that the Minnesota Vikings are going to continue to transition to a more pass-first offense with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, the rookie there, Jordan Addison, as well as KJ Osborne. In 2021, they had a pass rate of 57%, and they followed that up last season with a 62% pass rate. Mattison is average at best when it comes to his pass catching abilities, so that is something that fantasy managers need to consider when targeting Mattison later on in drafts. When looking at this Minnesota Vikings depth chart behind Alexander Mattison, it's Kenny Nwangu, Ty Chandler, and the rookie Dwayne McBride. So Minnesota, they could still be in the market for a veteran running back if the price is right, and Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, and Kareem Hunt are all currently available. Now, don't get this all confused. Don't get this all lost, but Ty Chandler could be a really sneaky appeal here as far as fantasy is concerned. A guy who's performed at Tennessee, at North Carolina, and a guy we know can catch some passes out of the backfield. Now, Cook, he is coming off of 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons in which he has accumulated 52 touchdowns. But at 27 years of age and turning 28 in August, and with a history of shoulder concerns, he's heading into a relatively unknown market. Another one of those surgeries, it took place just in February with the hope that this would eliminate those shoulder separation issues that have plagued him throughout his career. Dalvin Cook is 3rd time in Minnesota Vikings history with 5,993 rushing yards, trailing just Adrian Peterson and Robert Smith. He also sits 2nd in rushing yards per game. They're averaging 82.1 and 4th in rushing touchdowns with 47. He also added more than 1,700 yards in the receiving game during his 6-year tenure with the Vikings. Another part of the equation that potential suitors must take into account is the dip in efficiency. Cook had 62 carries in 2022 that did not gain a yard or even lost yardage, which was the most amongst the running back position. In fact, according to Next Gen Stats, only 34.5% of Cook's carries resulted in positive yardage over expectation, which was the 2nd lowest amongst backs with at least 200 carries last season. Now, I'm quick to point out Cook's flaws, but all this inefficiency should not be just placed on Dalvin Cook. I should also mention the Vikings offensive line. It struggled last year, ranking 25th when talking about DVOA for run blocking, and they were 31st in stuff rate, meaning that Cook didn't get much help getting to that second level of opposing defenses. Those runs that you saw Cook break off, that was all Dalvin Cook doing Dalvin Cook type things. That said, Cook will have his suitors. Rumors throughout the offseason have pointed towards Miami, Denver, and a possible reunion there in Buffalo. And most recently, there are whispers coming out of New York with the New York Football Jets. If Miami adds Dalvin Cook, he becomes an excellent complement to Devin Achane there in this Miami Dolphins backfield that also has Raheem Mostert and Jeffrey Wilson, but no clear-cut number 1 running back. He would also give the Miami Dolphins one of the best trio of playmakers there, along with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean, this could be a very exciting offense, not only in the National Football League, but for fantasy football as well. If Buffalo were to sign Dalvin Cook, hey, it's a nice story. I'm all about brothers being united in the backfield. But I do have some concerns here and how this would all work out. James Cook, he has proven to be effective in his touches while splitting time with Devin Singletary. But Damian Harris, he's also going to be there. He's also going to be involved in this Buffalo Bills backfield. And the elder Cook is just going to make a mess of this whole thing. This is a great move if the Bills are able to do it, not so much for fantasy. As for Denver, Sean Payton fully expects Javonte Williams to be ready come week number 1. And I fully expect that Sean Payton is full of lies. If the Broncos do sign Cook, this becomes a very telling addition. If Cook becomes a Bronco, then it's easy to reason that the Broncos has some real concerns when it comes to Williams' availability here and his status in 2023, especially considering that they went out there and signed Samaje Perine during the free agency period. Outside of Miami, wherever Cook lands is going to be an absolute fantasy football bomb getting dropped on you. There's going to be all kinds of carnage, not your typical carnage where a free agency guy that's kind of been passed up over time, the move that he makes kind of affects everything. But Dalvin Cook is a legitimate concern no matter where he lines up next season. With that all being said, where do you see Dalvin Cook playing in 2023? Make sure to get down in the comments below. Let me know. Hit that like and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.